Hi, it's Therese and I'm at the Ellen Hutson classroom today and I can't wait to share this card with you. I'm using the gorgeous colours out of the new May colour trend and it's called Floral Fantasies. Really pretty combination of colours. I'm going to be using the Mondo Hydrangea stamp set, which is an Essentials by Ellen stamp set created by Julie Ebersole. As one of the images in the inspiration had all these beautiful little, they were almost like these little glass flowers, and they were surrounded by wire, and that's where I got my inspiration from. So to create the wire, I used platinum embossing powder from Altenew, and I have stamped my images on some Bristol cardstock because I want to do some watercolouring today. The good thing about Bristol cardstock is that it's a nice smooth finish and it's really tolerant to water. Not as good as watercolour cardstock, but still quite good. And heat embossing works really well on it, and I love that it's a nice bright white. So I'm stamping out all my images. I'm using Versamark ink, and you might notice that my ink pad is quite dirty, but that doesn't affect it at all, especially because I'm using a dark embossing powder. You won't see it through there at all. This platinum embossing powder from Altenew is really beautiful. It's kind of almost it's almost like a dull gold. That doesn't sound beautiful at all but it is. So I've got my Zig clean colour real brush markers today, and I find these work quite well on the Bristol cardstock. I don't think that the edges of my colours blended as well together as I would have liked. I'm not sure if I should have just done one petal at a time instead of 4, but it does kind of give you that watercolory look, perhaps. But I did come in with a few of the different violet colours and also with a pale blue, just to add that little blue sort of tinge to it. The colours that were in this Floral Fantasies, I didn't use all of the colours, I just chose a few that I thought would work really well together. But you can use as many as you want and be inspired however you want from this Pantone palette. It's really pretty. Now I'm not using a lot of water here because this is Bristol smooth cardstock. It won't tolerate a lot of water, but that also means that it dries fairly quickly. But I am going to be die cutting these images out, and I won't do that until my images are dry. I just don't want to risk the chance of having to start again. I stamped out 2 of the large bouquet of stems of flowers, but I only coloured in half of the other stem because I knew I wasn't going to need it all. The leaves, I actually combined 3 different colours of green to get the colour that I wanted, that I thought matched the actual palette, and these are really, I think they turned out really pretty. It's not my normal go-to green, so it's nice to push the boundaries a little bit. Normally I just go straight to the lime green. So like I said, I'm going to actually die cut all of these out with the coordinating dies for the Mondo Hydrangea, and this just makes life so easy. I hold it in place with some low tack, this is a painter's tape, and then I can just run it through my die cutting machine. I've got a Big Shot, and that just cuts it out beautifully. Just leaves a really small white border around the edge. Watercolouring an embossed image is so easy to do. You don't have to wait for it to dry between each petal or leaf. It kind of has a well to hold the colour. Makes it really easy. Alright, I've got a top fold card and I'm adding a pale grey card front to it. This is a taffy cardstock, and I'm just using my ATG gun to do that. And I don't know if you can see it there, but I had some random ink on my desk and it ended up on the card front, but that's okay, I'll cover it up along the way. I'm using my tape runner to adhere my the flowers, the top right flowers directly to the card base, and both of my leaves. The good thing about the dry tape adhesive, the tape runners, is that you do have a little bit of wriggle time. You can actually lift them up and move them around. They're quite forgiving, but once they've been there for a while, they will stick and hold really well. I've popped up the stem that I coloured all of the flowers on, and then what I want to do is actually trim this down so that it is perfectly rectangle with the card, so it's as easy as flipping it over and using a long straight sharp pair of scissors and cutting straight along the edges of the card. You could try a paper trimmer for this, but I'd be very worried about cutting off the top of the card. Or you could do this on a panel, cut it down and then adhere it to the front of a card. I chose 3 of the separate flowers that I coloured in just to sort of drape across the front, and I'm covering up my little random bit of ink at the same time. And then all that's left to do is add a sentiment. I've got a set that's also from the Essentials by Alan collection, and it's from a set called All Inside, and I'm just using some Onyx black ink to add a really simple sentiment that just says hello. This card could be used for so many different occasions, and I think it's really pretty with those watercolour look zig colour flowers. So I hope you're inspired today by how I've used these colours, and head over to the classroom and see what you can do with the Pantone palette. There's always heaps of inspiration at the classroom, so don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll look forward to seeing you here next time. Till then, have a great day. Bye.